Up until now, we've been responding to our browser request with just static text like this. But in a real world example, we might want to actually respond with HTML, right? So let's go ahead and see how we can do that. In the directory structure right here, I'm going to create some HTML files. I'll start with the index.html, and in here, I'll just have a basic generation of HTML, and here I'm gonna have an h1, and here it's gonna say the home page. Okay, and I'm going to create a new one called about.html, and this is going to have some data. Here I'm just going to have an h1 also that says the about page, and finally I'm going to have a contact.html, and here I'm going to just have an h1 that says the contact page. Okay, so I have 3 HTML files that I want to respond depending on the request from the browser. So how do we take these files and then respond with them to the browser? So what we are going to do is we're going to import a new module from Node, and this is going to be called fs. So I'm going to say require, and the name of that module is fs, like this. Okay, now this module is in full called file system. Okay, and this helps us to interact with the files on our server. So now that we've imported our fs, what we're going to do is create 3 variables. Constant about page is going to be equal to fs dot, and there's a function called read file sync, and this function is going to help us read the contents of a file. So the contents in this case is going to be the about.html. Okay, so we're going to do exactly the same thing for the contact page. So here we're going to have contact page, and we are going to read the contact.html file. And finally, we're going to have one for the home page. So here, we're just going to say home page, and this is going to be the index.html. Okay, so we imported our fs module, which is our file system module, and we used the function on that module called read file sync. And this function takes the name of a file, and then it reads the content of that file and then returns it to us in a variable right here. So now, rather than responding with this text, we are going to respond with the about page like this. And if the URL is contact, we're going to respond with the contact page like this. And finally, if the URL is the home, we're going to respond with the home page like this. Okay, so now we've switched from static text to HTML files just like that, and we learned all this using our file system module from Node.js. So let's go ahead and start our server, node index.js. And if we come right now and refresh this page, we still have page was not found. But if we go to the home page, look at that. We have HTML right here. So if I view the page source, you can see that this is the HTML that is coming from our server. Okay, so you can see that we switched completely from responding with static text to responding with real HTML pages. So if you go to the about page, you can have that h1 right there. And if we go finally to our contact page, we have the contact right there. Awesome, right? So that's how we're able to respond with HTML pages using our file system module. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on in the very next lesson.